Jeremy Clarkson speechless as fans break down after heartbreaking loss in Car SOS. Car SOS received a touching letter from John's daughter, Emma. In the letter, she explained that her father had terminal cancer, and the only thing that made him smile was watching old episodes of Top Gear, especially Jeremy Clarkson's classic crazy stunts. Emma begged the show to help restore the Capri, the car John had bought when he was young and had promised to pass on to her. But his illness progressed too quickly. Before the team could complete the project, John passed away. Still, Car SOS decided to continue restoring the car as a farewell gift. And when the car was completed, they held a small ceremony right in the warehouse, where John had spent hours tinkering with the Capri. What's special is that Jeremy Clarkson, after hearing the story from a friend who works in the TV channel, decided to quietly attend. On the day of the ceremony, the Capri looked as if it had just rolled off the production line. The emerald green paint was gleaming. The interior had been restored exactly as it had in 1971. Every little detail had retained its classic style. Emma stood silently beside the car, her hands shaking as she stroked the steering wheel. She didn't cry, but her eyes were sparkling with grief. As host Tim Shaw began to say a few words, everyone turned to the sound of a low engine roaring in the yard. A Range Rover rolled slowly into view. The door opened, and Jeremy Clarkson stepped out. His presence stunned everyone. Emma put her hand to her mouth, in disbelief. Clarkson didn't say anything. He just walked over, took off his sunglasses, and looked at the Capri for a long moment. "It's beautiful," he muttered, then turned to Emma, his voice warm but slightly hoarse. "Your father must have been a wonderful man." Emma couldn't hold it in any longer. She burst into tears, then rushed forward to hug Jeremy. The famous former presenter, who was often sarcastic and rarely showed emotion, was speechless for the first time on television. He patted her on the back, his eyes red. I really don't know what to say." The cameras were still silently recording the moment. No one in the crew spoke. The air was filled with a dead silence. Shaw's heart stood still, his eyes sparkling. Clarkson then walked slowly to the car, opened the driver's door, got in, and started the engine. The soft sound echoed in the silence. "This Capri has a soul," he said softly. Emma smiled through her tears. Just like my father. The Car SOS special was watched by a record number of viewers. Thousands of comments flooded social media, many admitting they cried when watching Jeremy Clarkson, who is always famous for his dry jokes, standing still in real grief. One person wrote, "I have never seen Clarkson so moved. It's not just a car. It's love, it's memories, it's legacy." Another viewer shared, "I lost my dad last year. This episode made me feel like he was looking at me from somewhere. Thank you, Car SOS. Thank you, Jeremy." A few months later, a short article appeared in the Sunday Times's Life section, written by Jeremy Clarkson himself. "Some cars aren't for racing. They're not for showing off. They're for remembering someone. I used to think I didn't care. But that day, standing in front of that Capri, I understood. There are things that make you silent, not because you have nothing to say, but because any words are not enough." Quote.